Alright, normally I would be covering anime archetypes, but this is an archetype I like, and it's a GX manga based archetype, that being Darklords, with more support with a new form of Lucifer, or Morningstar if you're going by TCG. So let's begin. So first off, we start off with Darklord Gagolta, which is a level 6 Dark Fairy with 2400 attack, 800 defense, and just like many of the other Darklords, you can only special summon once per turn. What the first effect is that if this card is special summoned, you can special summon 2 Darklord tokens, which are both level 6 Dark Fairies with 0 attack and defense, but you can only special summon fairies for the rest of the turn. Basically, the idea here is just to make some materials for either Fusion Summon or Link Summon, in which a second effect is hard once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Darklord card or 1 Forbidden Quickplay spell from your deck to your hand, except itself. Pretty nice, just use this as material and then just get a further search. And if you're wondering why Forbidden, because Forbidden Droplet, which features Darklords as his artwork, which is actually why. But that also means that you can use the Forbidden Quickplay spells back in the past. But overall, good new addition already. In which we go to Darklord Dehedi, which is a level 4 Dark Fairy with 0 attack and defense, and each effect is hard once per turn. The first one is that if this card no more special summon, you can special summon 1 Darklord monster from your deck in defense, except itself, but you're restricted to special summoning fairies for the rest of the turn, which is of course fine, and considering that you can special summon without the effects negated, that means that you're going to trigger a bunch of effects, which thanks to this effect alone, it already makes an instant 3 of, just for the crazy combos that it could already do. But the second effect is a focus on fusion monsters, where if you control a Dark Fairy fusion monster, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target 1 Darklord card or 1 Forbidden Quickplay spell from the graveyard and add it to your hand, which is always pretty nice to help you recycle or do some recovery play. Even though the restriction is having a fusion monster on the field, thanks to 1 new card, it has been a little easier to bring out your fusion monster, but just for the first effect alone, it's already a good addition. And now to the new fusion monster, which is a new Lucifer, or Morningstar if it goes by TCG, or maybe completely renamed like what happened with the first Darklord, but the translation here is Lucifer, Darklord of the Evening Twilight, which is a level 12 Dark Fairy with 3000 attack and defense, requires 2 level 6 or higher Dark Fairies, which makes it technically a little harder to summon than the first Darklord, but it's 1 less monster, so technically easier, especially when the majority your Darklords are going to be high level anyway. But anyway, its first and third effect are both hard once per turn, the first one being if this card is fusion summon, you can set 1 Darklord spell and trap from your deck. Once again, another one of these big monsters or extra deck monsters that just summon and then sets you up. But it is nice that it's already a +2 on summon, in which the second effect is a continuous effect. Your opponent cannot target this face-up card on the field with card effects, with the third effect being typical Darklord, which is a quick effect. You can pay 1000 light points to target one of your Darklord spells or traps and activate its effect as it was activated and then shuffle that card back to the deck. So in technicality, the first Darklord or the original Ultimate Form Lucifer is technically better because that one on summon gives you a nuke, although you do have to use Morningstar Lucifer as material for it. And that one requires 3 monsters, but it could be any, while this one requires 2 high level monsters, although luckily most of your Darklords are going to be high level anyway. And also the first Darklord also gives protection to all your monsters, unlike this one protecting itself. But considering that we got a new fusion card, this is actually technically easier to summon, especially when it comes to summoning the base form Lucifer Morningstar itself, and not needing that form to summon the big Lucifer's full effect. So if anything, this is a new boss monster that just basically sets you up and basically just does more plays. And finally to our last card, Darklord Pleasure, which is a normal spell, and you can activate only 1 of these per turn, which you could technically activate 2 of these per turn through your Darklord quick effects. So the effect is that you can fusion summon 1 Dark Fairy fusion monster by using materials from your hand, field, and or graveyard by banishing them. And the fusion summon monster will be gaining 1000 attack, and if you're summoning a Darklord monster, you can also use Darklord monsters on your opponent's side of the field as well, because you do have some monsters that will give your opponent's monsters, hence why it says this in the fusion card. Just by being a new fusion spell already helps, because this is the first fusion spell for Darklord, especially when it's flexible on hand, field, and graveyard. But not only that, since it has Darklord in name, of course you can use the Darklord quick effect to copy the effect. and it also makes it searchable. But in addition, because you do have some Darklord monsters that also give your opponent Darklord monsters, instead of using Super Poly, you can now use your archetype variation of it, because giving your opponent big monsters is never really a good idea unless if you could take advantage of it. So overall, it's already a nice new addition. And so that's it for the new Darklord support of Burst Protocol. What do you guys think of it? Well, it was unexpected to me, but it's a welcome addition for me as well, because I really like Darklords and I do play the deck, with some very helpful main deck monsters that just sets you up even more, and a new fusion monster which was not very expected, but a welcome addition as well, as Darklords does not really focus too much on the extra deck. So more options the better. But in that, that's it for this, and see you next time.